Hello. Today we are talking about how to create accountability without becoming the nagging, micromanaging boss, owner, manager, follow-up machine. See, most accountability problems are actually clarity problems. I talk with business owners frequently, and they are frustrated with their people. They think, and they just my people just don't get it. We're not aligned. Um, they don't care. They're not engaged. They don't take ownership. I have to follow up on everything. I feel handcuffed to my business because it relies so much on me. Often the real problem isn't any of those things. It's actually unclear ownership. Nobody knows exactly who's responsible for what. It's unclear priorities. The team doesn't know where to focus because we haven't given them the tools. We haven't resourced them. Unclear expectations. Uh, we haven't set KPIs. We haven't set the standard, so they don't know. And when there's unknown, when there's a lack of clarity, it causes hesitation. Um, so with that, if we set expectations, we need to keep score. Oftentimes there's no clear scoreboard. There's no weekly rhythm. So we ask our people to go do the job without equipping them to do the job. But as an owner, it can be frustrating because we don't necessarily see that. What we see is the work that's not getting done. So what do we do about it? Well, I've got a four-part accountability fix. Um, Number one, there's got to be one clear owner. If it's a quarterly objective, if it's a to do, if it's a task, if it's a key responsibility, only one person can own it. When more than one person owns something, we can start pointing fingers, and then nobody owns it. Nobody's accountable. So the next thing, so one clear owner for everything. Now that doesn't mean that they have to do the whole thing themselves. It just means that they own it and they're responsible for making sure whatever it is gets done. Um, a clear outcome, defining what the outcome actually is that we're after. So one of the tools that we use is called commander's intent. And this is where we make sure that the people carrying out the work know exactly what it is we're trying to accomplish. We're not as interested exactly in how they get there. If we're trying to get to the far side of a building, 3 buildings away, whether they go to the right and around the 2 buildings in between, or they go to the left and go around the 2 buildings in between. Unless we know there's an obstacle, we will let them do the work that gets them to the far side of that 3rd building. So, but that's what done is, right? We know, hey, we need to get to the far side of the building. So knowing what the actual mission is, we need a clear scoreboard. What exactly is it that we're measuring? If we're in the marketing team, we may be measuring new leads that are coming in. If I'm the marketing manager, I'm responsible for the new leads. Now, that's a great thing to measure, and that may be indicative of how many appointments we get set and how many then sales we make, right? But before that, there's something that drives leads in. So we may want even a leading indicator to that. What is it that brings leads in? Is it cold calls made? How many of those do we have to make to get the leads we want? Is it social media posts? Is it engagement on LinkedIn? Like what is the thing that drives that? Leading indicators are great things to get on your scoreboard. Anything on the scoreboard, again, only one person can own each item on the scoreboard. And then a clear rhythm. So a lot of the items in the business can be measured weekly. Some of them are probably more appropriately measured monthly, but we want to build a scoreboard that has weekly measurements on it. Oftentimes, if we're only looking at it every 4 weeks, a lot can shift in 4 weeks, as you probably know. So by looking at it weekly, It keeps us keeps our fingers on the pulse of the business, right? We can tell what's going on as we build this scoreboard out. In time we'll start to see trends, and we can adjust proactively instead of reactively. But we have to have that rhythm where once a week we're getting together as a leadership team and we're looking at our scoreboard and we're asking, are we on track with these items or not? So clear owner, clear outcome, clear scoreboard, clear rhythm, clear accountability. So another example, and I mentioned leads. So let's say that we build our scoreboard and we've got follow-up calls on there, and we realize that we get leads and then they just kind of fade off and nobody's doing anything with them, right? So what we would do in that case is we would, rather than saying, hey, everyone needs to do better. Team, we need to do better at following up on leads. Go get them. It never works that way. So we need to pick one person and we need to ask, who owns lead follow-up? Who in this room is going to take ownership for it? What is the standard? Okay, if we have 10 new leads, how many need to be followed up with? Well, I would say all 10, right? And then what else can we measure there? How quickly? If a new lead comes in and we're not following up for a week and a half, we're probably too late, right? There's studies on this. You can look it up, but the faster we can get follow-up, the more likely they are to schedule an appointment and ultimately to convert to a sale, a client, a customer, if you will. Then, so who owns it? How quickly should it happen? Where do we track it? And when do we review it? Again, I think this is one of those that should be reviewed weekly. Track it on your scoreboard. If there's a project manager or some tool you use within the organization, like, well, maybe you track it in your CRM if you're using Salesforce or High Level, for instance. That's fine to track it there, but then that data needs to be taken and put on the scoreboard for the weekly review. Okay, so for you, if I were in your shoes, I would think about your business. Pick one recurring problem, one thing that has come up multiple times. And I say problem, keep in mind that every problem presents an opportunity. So we're going to reframe this problem as an opportunity and ask 4 questions, okay? Number 1, who owns it? Number 2, what does success look like? Where is it visible? And when is it reviewed? Who owns it? What does success look like? Where is it visible? When are we reviewing it? Define the problem or the opportunity. Answer those questions. Now, if you want some help with this, I've created what I call the bottleneck scorecard. And I'm going to link that in the comments. It'll help you identify where your business is or maybe depending on you way too much. It'll help you see where accountability might be breaking down. So grab that resource, take a look at it, and yeah, would love it if you circle back and leave a comment on what you find out. And we'll look forward to talking to you soon. Peace.